What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. I'm in green today. Green is because we are doing yet another prediction video. This one for the Ireland Autumn Internationals. Now, there's some big games coming up here. Quite fun, actually. This is going to be one of the few sort of sets of games that we won't be seeing at the World Cup unless that's how the pool stages work out. None of these games are going to be going on in the pool stage for Ireland, but certainly some big games to be looking at and certainly some potential quite close, tight-knit affairs. So like I've done for the Wales and the Scotland teams already, what we do in this, we go through the games that are going to be going on and predicting who's going to win that game before the teams are announced, before the squads are mentioned. We're going to just do it all now, and that way we can look back at it later after all the internationals are done and see how many we got correct, which will probably be all of them wrong. So let's start off. Ireland versus the USA, their opening game. This will be the only game, I believe, where one of the Six Nations teams is going away to play their autumn internationals. All the rest of them are being played at home, I believe. So USA versus Ireland. Now, I believe we got to see this in the summer internationals, and Ireland looked pretty rampant in that. And was it Kelleher who got flown out to the Lions? I think it was Ronan Kelleher that did so well in that game, got 4 tries in that USA game, and or was it Herring? It might have been Kelleher, might have been Herring. I've forgotten who it was now. But he got flown out at the end of that because he did so well in that game. He looked so impressive as they were going against the USA. The USA, I actually thought, played better in their first game when they played England. They looked like they had something about them. Unfortunately, in that Ireland game, it really began to just sort of dissipate for them. I'm not quite sure what happened there. The switch didn't seem quite the same for them. I don't know if that's a jet lag from having to swap between where they were playing stadiums-wise or what have you, or Ireland just outplayed them, really. But I think this one is going to be interesting, with Ireland having to fly all the way to the USA, and then they're going to be flying all the way back for their second game against Japan. So, Ireland versus the USA, I think I'm going to lean more towards Ireland. They certainly have struggled a little bit this year. Their Six Nations didn't go... Oh, it didn't go terribly, actually. I did feel they've been a bit rusty at some points. I thought in their autumn games, there was certainly a couple of missed opportunities in there. They will have been annoyed that a lot of the Irish players didn't really get to go on the Lions tour. So I was trying to think of them. I forgot the name. A couple of people asking for James Ryan to go. People asking for Johnny Sexton to go. A couple of those people missed out. So I think they'll be wanting to prove themselves. That we have a lot of build-up time now, especially with club level and stuff. So I think Ireland should be able to manage. It's just going to be a tough route around for them. But I think for me, first game prediction, I'm going to give the winner to Ireland. On to the second game, Ireland versus Japan. This was a game that became a little bit notorious. We saw this in the 2019 World Cup, and Japan won that game. And what a game that was. That was really enjoyable. Then, of course, we got to see this again. Coming up, this was after Japan played the Lions, and Japan played Ireland again, and Ireland managed to win that one. So best of 3. I mean, here it is. It's coming up. These are two teams that I really like seeing play together. They are weirdly sort of matched in how they play each other, which I really like, considering Ireland are very much set as a Tier 1 team. Japan falls somewhere between the sort of low-end Tier 1, high-end Tier 2. But when they play each other, it just feels so even. I don't think it's necessarily that they're outplaying each other. It's that each team's strengths and weaknesses is exactly the other person's strengths and weaknesses. It's so much fun to watch. I love these games. So it's going to be a tight one again. I can't imagine there'll be enormous point scoring in this one. Japan will be looking to do this one. Japan will be coming into this one relatively fresh-faced. I'm trying to see who else they're going to be playing. They're going to be playing Scotland, but that's going to be their final game as well. So there's pretty much going to be a full Japan team coming in here. Ireland, depending on who's going to wait to play the USA, they may well put a second string on to avoid the jet lag and play that USA game. So it could be pretty much a full Ireland team. So I'm going to give prediction for me. Japan played well against the Lions and against Ireland in the last game we saw them in. But for me, I'm going to go for another Ireland win here. The penultimate game for the Ireland team is going to be versus the All Blacks. Now, this is a game, if anyone is new to rugby, there are a couple of people that jump in the comments and say, I'm new to rugby, I'm trying to learn a little bit more about it. Go and watch some of the Ireland and New Zealand games, because there are some corkers of some games between Ireland and New Zealand. I absolutely love them. They are just gritty and dirty, and they just fight each other to see who's going to win. They are superb games, and I really enjoy it. New Zealand at the minute are looking really, really good. Watching some of the Super Rugby Aotearoa, those boys are linking well together. The New Zealand team is pretty much just made up of 4 teams combined in all of the partnerships. You know, the wingers and the fullbacks play for one team. The scrum halves and the fly halves play for one team. Both the centres play for one team. They're so used to each other. The offloads you're seeing, people like Damien McKenzie playing well. Bowden Barrett's over in Japan now, so you've had the rise of people like Geordie Barrett playing at fly half and fullback. Sevu Reece is doing awesome on the wing. Will Jordan's doing awesome on the wing. So New Zealand are looking good at this stage. And New Zealand, though, could potentially be missing a couple of players here. They're going to be playing Italy and Wales, I think, both before this Ireland game. So there's potential that a couple of people could be out injured. They could be out missing. Ireland will potentially also have a couple of people missing, maybe against Japan or something. But pretty much I would be expecting a full-strength Ireland side for this. And I think it's worth going for it. I think it's worth going for this win here if Ireland can absolutely push for it. It's just going to be decided on how that rest's going to carry over now from... Well, I don't really think they got tested too much in the summer international, so it'd be nice to see how they get on against a team like New Zealand. But I've got a feeling New Zealand might have a little bit more experience in playing the bigger boys with the Southern Hemisphere Championship going on, playing in the Bledisloe Cup. So for me, I'm going to go for a New Zealand win. And the final game for Ireland, Argentina. This is a game we don't really get to see a lot, actually. I can't think of the last time I saw Ireland versus Argentina. Maybe I actually missed it when it was on, I don't know. But this would be a game I'm quite looking forward to seeing. Argentina at the minute, not being the most impressive. I saw the South Africa versus Argentina game, and they just seemed to just not want to win. They just gave away 1,000 penalties. They just didn't seem to want to have that game too desperately. Hopefully they can sort out discipline. We know Argentina are quite a fiery team anyway, but their discipline really begins to let them down when too many penalties are given away. So, and a team like Ireland will completely expose that. People like Joey Carberry or Johnny Sexton, if you give penalties away, there's 3 points. It's just going to happen. There's no point giving away those penalties against those teams. In terms of open play, Argentina's certainly got a couple of people that like to play out wide. They beat Wales in both of their summer games, but Wales very much putting out a second-tier team. And to be honest, I got so annoyed watching those Wales-Argentina games. Wales almost demonstrated like they just thought they were going to win. Like Argentina aren't a good team. And Argentina came out and won both those games, even with a red card in one of them. So, yeah, I don't think Argentina are a team to just sort of write off. I think they have the ability, but for me, their performances recently haven't been screaming like they're going to be able to do this one. So, for me, with the final game, I'm going to give the prediction now for an Ireland win. And there we have it, guys. That is going to be the Irish prediction for the Autumn Internationals 2021. There's a whole title that I've got going on here, which I forgot halfway through saying that. So that's going to be my predictions for it. What do you guys think? Do you think Ireland have it in them to win all 4 of these games? Do you think maybe there'll be some big upsets here and Ireland win none of them? Who do you think it's going to go to? Make sure you drop it down in the comments how you think it's going to go, how you think Ireland are going to perform in this Autumn Internationals. As I have said in the other videos, I am going to be doing one of these covering all the games, not necessarily all the teams, but it will intermingle all the games that will be going on. So make sure you subscribe to the channel just to keep up to date with all the videos as they come out. And if you've enjoyed this one, make sure you drop it a like, because it does help the channel and helps more people find more videos like this for us to go back and tell me why I was so wrong 3 months after all these games have actually happened. But I hope you've all enjoyed today, guys. I will see you next time. Bye bye.